Hello and welcome to another episode of Disney Movie Investigation. If this is your first time watching, welcome to the show. In each episode, we take a look at a movie that is featured on Disney+. On this episode, we are going back to the early 2000s as we take a look at the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen starring Sean Connery. And if you are enjoying these videos, I do ask that you please hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified with each new episode. Now, sit back and enjoy this episode of Disney Movie Investigation. So like I said, today we're covering The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. This movie was released on July 11th, 2003. It was directed by Stephen Norrington. It is based on the graphic novel The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen by Alan Moore and Kevin O'Neill. The production companies were Angry Films and International Production Companies and JD Productions, and it was distributed by 20th Century Fox. The budget for this movie was $78 million, and it did a box office return of $179.3. But let's take a look at the backstory. So this movie, like I said, is loosely based on the comic book series by Alan Moore and Kevin O'Neill. And because 20th Century Fox was unable to get the rights to some of the characters, more specifically from H.G. Wells, the Invisible Man was changed to An Invisible Man, with his name changed as well from Holly Griffin to Rodney Skinner. Connery would agree to be in the film after turning down both roles in The Matrix and Lord of the Rings, and he agreed to be in this movie for $17 million, which would leave a very little budget to attract other high-profile names for the rest of the cast. Filming of the movie would take place in Hungary, Malta, and the Czech Republic. And unfortunately, Connery and director Stephen Norrington did not get along, and they would have many disputes throughout making of the movie. It even got to the point where Norrington declined to attend the movie's premiere. Connery would claim that based on making this film, he would retire from acting and claiming that it was a nightmare and that he was fed up dealing with the idiots. So this actually was Sean Connery's last acting role. So it's a shame, unfortunately, that the two could not get along and that we didn't get any more performances from Sean Connery. But let's take a look at the cast of this movie. So we have Sean Connery playing Alan Quartermain, Nasarudda Saha playing Nemo, Peter Wilson playing Dr. Mina Hawker, Tony Curran as Rodney Skinner, Stuart Townsend as Dorian Gray, Shane West as Tom Sawyer, Jason Fleming as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, and Richard Roxbury as Professor Moriarty. In terms of the plot, in a parallel Victoria Britain at the dawn of the 20th century, the megalomaniac warmonger known only as the Phantom threatens to unleash bloody Armageddon of global proportions. Before the extreme and unstoppable menace, the experienced adventurer Alan Quartermain assembles a unique sextet of superheroes torn straight from the pages of English literature, in high hopes of threatening the madman's plans for world domination. Now, a bloodthirsty vampirist, a sad immortal, a elusive secret agent, an ambitious scientist, an unlonely invisible man, a savage beast, and a legendary hunter are humanity's last hopes. Can the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen save our world? So this movie has some unique history as well. A novelization of the movie was written by Kevin J. Anderson and would be released before the movie's premiere. The soundtrack was actually unique because it was released exclusively on iTunes and only online, and it featured songs by Ladysmith Black Mambazo. And the movie sat dormant for a long time, mostly because, unfortunately, they wanted to do a sequel because this movie was number 2 at the box office at the time, right behind Pirates of the Caribbean. But unfortunately, because of Sean Connery's retirement, they never could get a sequel off the ground. But The Hollywood Reporter reported in 2002 that a sequel or a reboot was being developed by Hulu, but at this time, no other news has been surfaced. So would I recommend this movie? I definitely see how this would be appealing. This is a time when comic book movies or any graphic novel movies were kind of being produced almost like a factory system. This is right around the time that X-Men hit the box office and kind of surprised everyone that comic book movies could be actually good. So I think the idea is very interesting, but unfortunately the characterizations of the characters are lacking. There's no character development of any of them. Unfortunately, too, I didn't even know that Shane West, before I did research for this video, was supposed to be Tom Sawyer. he just goes as Agent Sawyer throughout the movie. So like it was not clear that he was supposed to be the American literature of Tom Sawyer. So yeah, that was kind of confusing. And then I also think that the story does so many start-stops in terms of the story progression that it just leaves the audience not invested in the events of the movie. So unfortunately with movies like Avengers and X-Men on Disney Plus, I think this one, unfortunately, I probably will not be watching it too many more times. So I would give this one, unfortunately, a pass. So, thank you so much for joining us here on Disney Movie Investigation. I would love for anyone to please leave a comment if they agree or disagree with me on the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. So as we look forward to our next episode, we are going deep into the Disney vault as we go take a look at Blackbeard's Ghost starring Peter Ustinov. So until next time, I hope you have a magical day, and we will see you real soon.